Hey, thanks for joining me today. This video is to kind of give you an idea of what's involved in a complete installation for a home standby generator. Here I am digging the electric trench from the electric meter to the generator. I started here because I can't get to the back of the house. That space there is not big enough for my excavator to get into the back. So I dug as much as I could with the machine, because obviously that's a lot easier. This area is very rocky. If you can see the rocks on the side where the rock walls are, all those rocks came from the ground. None of that stuff was purchased and brought in. That's all from building the house. I moved the pea gravel to the side thinking that it would work out where we could reuse it, but chances are the homeowner is going to have to get a landscaper in to put another load of new gravel over it, because it all got dirty. So it's not going to look as nice as it did before we touched it. I'm here digging by hand because there's an electric line for that outlet on the right hand side. There's also another FiOS line that's in the ground. Anything that's this machine touches that's in the ground, it will destroy. Same thing here, very close to the electric meter. The service coming into the house was underground, so I just dug this by hand. Also, the space is very tight, so I couldn't get the machine into the right position to dig with the machine there. No big deal, wasn't that much, and keeps you young. So this is now into the back of the house, still continuing to dig by hand. Everything is by hand at this point. Once I get into the back of the house, I stopped digging the electric trench and started with the gas. The gas was shorter and easier for me to do by myself at this point. So this is for the gas. This is what we got done. Propane tanks are going to go under the deck. It's a deck there. Propane tanks will go from here to there. That's about 90 inches in that range there. We're gonna go, that trench right there goes underneath the lattice work, and we're gonna go poly, which is plastic, commonly known as Constat. Did run into some obstacles. There's a sprinkler line there, put a hole right through it. I want to say that's about 65 feet, 75 feet, and I stopped there. Maybe we'll go a little bit more, but that leaves some room behind the unit for the plumber to put in a regulator, flex line, shut-off valve, and just a few other things, you know. Tomorrow we will finish the electrical trench. Every time we put the shovel in the ground, we hit a rock. That red thing there is a pretty decent sized rock bar. It really made digging this trench tough. There were times where we had to jackhammer, which that wasn't too much fun, but you got to do what you got to do. And it was really sunny, so here we are with the pop-up tent, which was a lifesaver. It kept us in the shade, kept us from getting exhausted with the heat, and even sun poisoning, because there was one day where I was jackhammering and I didn't put the tent up and ended up with sun poisoning. This was a great spot for the propane tanks. It's under the deck and they're hidden, out of sight. So at this point, the gas line was already run. tested and inspected by the town. And here I'm putting the young bucks to work. My stepson and a few of his buddies earning some money, working during the summer and doing the heavy lifting. They didn't help me dig the trench because they were still in school, but school's out at this point, so yeah, that's what they're doing here. The caution tape is for precautionary measures. If somebody comes from behind us and digs, they hit the caution tape before they hit the line, and hopefully they stop digging. In the areas that we had to jackhammer, I had to sleeve the gas line in 3-inch Schedule 40 PVC and then cover that PVC with concrete. Sounds like it's overkill, but the gas line was very shallow in that area, and the inspector required us to protect it as much as possible. And I don't think it's a bad idea. It costs a few bucks, but it's better not to worry about a safety issue like that down the line. And you can see I'm mixing concrete by hand because there wasn't much that was needed. And yep, there it goes, and I level it out. There's probably about 4 inches of concrete that went on top, so there's not going to be much dirt. This top of the PVC line was probably about 8 inches below grade, so you know, it's still somewhat deep. Nothing really is going to be dug in this area unless they put in a pool, and at that point all bets are off. The kids did a great job backfilling.
You guys kicked ass last week.
Yeah. Not on this yet, right? Or
Yeah, the whole way.
Yeah. Whole way?
Yeah.